How are you doing today? So today, I suppose we're going to do a review of a course, a new course that I haven't recorded, basically done a video on. It's called Lake Powell National Golf Course, and it is in Page, Arizona. So this course is in a city, well, a town, I should say, of about 4,500, which is at an elevation of about 4,500 feet above sea level. And it is about 10 miles from the border between Arizona and Utah. It is in the northern lost third of Arizona, above Flagstaff, about 135 miles north of Flagstaff, and about 25 miles south of St. George. And it is on the southern end of Lake Powell. And it is really I would call it a quirky course. It is a 7,000 yard slope 139 course from the back tees, and it is a definite challenge of a golf course. And while it does look rather, about 2/3 of the course is just weird. It is a good challenge of golf. It is a decent course, and I played it about 5 times while I was in Page, taking a vacation over the Christmas holidays. So without further ado, I will start showing you quite a few different pictures of the course. And I think it's an interesting desert course in the sense that the area around the course is largely desert, but there is quite a bit of a man-made structure in the area. And it's sort of a nice blend of, normal Arizona mountain landscape. I would say mesa landscape more than anything else than the mountains, and a small town, industrial town, whose main industry is tourism. It's kind of a fun course to play, and if you are in the area, if you for any reason you happen to find yourself up in this part of Arizona, it's definitely worth a round. If you are a serious golf aficionado, you will find it to be both a good challenge technically and a decent, I guess, landscape feature in terms of, I guess, if you're into landscape photography or into landscape viewing or just getting out in the desert. It's a good break. Coming north from Flagstaff, there really is not much, literally at all. And it is a good break on the road heading on 89A north up into Utah. I definitely enjoyed playing the course. Even though I played it 5 times, it did get to be a little bit much to play, and there really isn't much around here other than that. I think there isn't a course within another 150 miles, either heading down to Sedonia or heading west towards the Grand Canyon, northwest left of St. George, between the Grand Canyon and St. George. And then there's Vegas. There's supposedly a bunch of courses around Vegas, and obviously you can go head down to Phoenix and Scottsdale, Mesa, Tucson, so forth. Lots of courses down there to play, but none of them are really, I guess, this technically good, this long, this challenging, and for $70 for 18 with a cart, electric cart, and GPS in a cart, this decent, really. It's a surprisingly good challenging course that is going to get a little bit of a short review, but still. All right, so a couple of things I should add in here. First of all, this is not the kind of desert that you're going to see down in the lower third of Arizona, where there's lots of cactus and some sage and so forth and so on. The desert, once you get north of Flagstaff, is rock. I mean, it's just basically rock. Maybe in the summer or when it rains or something, there's some stuff that springs up around. This is just literally basically moonscape, with some parts where there are bushes and like the shades and stuff where occasionally there's some bushes and so forth. But it is just a very different landscape than the flatter part of Arizona. It is about as barren and desolate as you can get. And the really weird thing is to drive through here and see that there are people actually living, lots of people actually living in this desert in, these trailer and rundown trailers and rundown houses and so forth. You get to Page. Page is actually kind of like a breath of sanity compared to the part between Flagstaff and Lower Page. So it's interesting, and yet at the same time, it's a rude awakening of what life is like in the western part of the country, in a lot of the western part between, say, Oklahoma, which a lot of western Oklahoma is very nice, landscape and so on. But once you get west of Oklahoma and on into New Mexico proper and Arizona and eastern California, I mean, it just really gets barren out here. And so in a sense, the traveling out here is a really different experience than traveling in central and southern Arizona. Also, there is a lot of road noise around this course. There's nothing to stop the road noise. So every truck that passes by, everything that passes by, sound just bounces around forever. You know, I'm sitting in my hotel room and there's a street, the main street that goes through Page next to me, and constant, you know, tire noise, truck noise, horns. You can hear everything. So this course is not one of those out of the way, quiet courses that you can find in Arizona and a lot of other places in the country where it's virtually free of road noise. Not like that at all. It's not overwhelming, but it's definitely not something you're going to avoid when you're playing. The other thing is the greens are actually pretty good condition. The course is actually in decent condition. I would not at all say that this is a cheap or ill-kept course. It is quite decent, and I thought it was absolutely perfectly playable. I'd give it like an 8 on a scale of 10 of courses. Not your lush greens, not your wide fairways. There's a lot of danger of rolling off the fairways into adjacent washes or gullies or something like that. It's not super tight, but it's not very loose and easy to play either. It's definitely not a flat course. That's Lake Powell National Golf Course in Page, Arizona. 7,000 yards, slope 139 from the back tees.